Hello and welcome to Judging with Judge episode 3. Today I'm going to be reviewing a classic paranormal based film from the 80s. I'm going to be reviewing Poltergeist, come out in 1982, obviously directed by Tobe Hooper, who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and produced by Steven Spielberg, who of course directed E.T., Jaws, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, loads of classics. And it's evident in the film, with the filmmaking styles, you can see which bits obviously Tobe Hooper pushed to get in, and the bits which Steven Spielberg had a major saying in, which I'll go into a bit more detail later with these parts. I said it was Poltergeist. It's made 92. I won't review the remake or the reboot, as I'm not a big fan of remakes and reboots, so I won't be doing that. But the original, as I said, very much a film of the 80s. You can see in the film as it starts off, you've got people on BMX bikes, the kids' bedrooms full of Star Wars merchandise and memorabilia, all the classic figures and things like that. Even the food they're eating, cans you see, they're basically from the 80s. So yeah, great for me, nostalgia trip, because I grew up in that time period. I was about the same age, probably one of the kids in the film at the time. So, but for someone new watching it, they're probably thinking, well, this looks very old, very dated. So not like the Goonies, which has aged quite well. But so the start of the film is set in basically a family with 3 children in a house in America, and the usual problems with neighbours and things like that, until one night there's a supposed earthquake, and it starts with a little girl touches the TV and her hand comes out and she immortals the immortal lines up there here, and that's where it starts. It's a very slow burn. There's a few little things to start with, like chairs being moved and things like that, and later it becomes more full-blown in what's happening. But the youngest girl, which is Carol Ann, touches the TV. Then you've got the boy, the middle child. He's got a tree outside his room, which he's scared of, and also a very creepy clown doll, which sits at the end of his bed, again, which come into play later. And the older daughter, who's 16, and then you've got the mum and dad. So, on the night of the tornado, the boy gets attacked by the tree, and the little girl gets sucked into a broom cupboard or a toy closet in the bedroom to go to what is basically the spirit world, and they can't retrieve her at the time. They call in a paranormal investigation team who come with all the equipment, and this is where you start to see some of Tobe Hooper's input into the film, particularly the scene in the bathroom where one of the paranormal team has a hallucination he peeled off his own face, which is absolutely brilliant. As you probably it's on in the background at the minute. So yeah, that's where Steven Spielberg's influence in it is the fact you've got obviously the young children, you've got the family side of it. There's some very sort of, I won't say cute bits in it, but some bits in it where you see like little round balls floating down the stairs, and they got little hats on little faces, and then you've got the Tobe Hooper Texas Chainsaw bits with corpses flying everywhere and things coming out of cupboards and all sorts. So you said the effects again are practical effects, so there's not very many CGI. At the time there wasn't CGI to be used, so there's a lot of practical, like when they're attacked by certain things, that's mechanical models and things like that. Some of the ghost footage was, especially the hand camera on the TV, today looks very drawn on, looks like it's been drawn on the film. Again, made a few flaws with watching it nowadays compared to, I mean, I'm not a big fan of CGI anyway, but this you can see it's been drawn on, but compared to effects nowadays, yeah, they're quite basic, but I said for the time, very effective. Some great stuff in there, especially the clown attack, which I'll go into a bit for again a bit later when I go because I'll go into this clown attack story, because there's quite a bit of dark history to this film as well, which is, yeah, I will speak about. But instead, they call in the paranormal team. Paranormal investigators get a bit of a shock because they're expecting toy cars to appear in 7 foot over 7 hours. They're not. They're getting things thrown at them. Stuff being thrown, like there's things dropping from the ceiling. They're affecting equipment. So one of them bottles it and leaves after said incident in bathroom, and then they bring in the medium to clear the house of what happened and track down the daughter, because the daughter disappeared. So the medium comes in and basically has a big contacts the other side, utilises the dad to go in and save the little girl, and then you find out the reason. I'm not going to say the reason why the house is the way it is, because it'll give away the film basically. But yeah, there's a few little twists in it to why the house is like it is. But overall, a great film. Said hasn't dated very well, but still brilliant. Still got the shocks. So I've not seen the remake of the reboot. I don't want to. But this original film had a lot of history attached to it, which is a lot. I don't know if you know about the curse of Poltergeist, where the girl that plays the elder sister in the film, just before the film was released, she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend. The little girl in it died during the making of the third film. The second film, there was a guy in it called Kane. The actor that played him died during the making of the second film. During the clown attack, because they're obviously using mechanical objects, not CGI, the boy playing Robbie was actually nearly choked out by the clown because it malfunctioned. Now, again, watching this film, not the abuse, but the things they put child actors through back in the 80s. I mean, they're getting dragged around all over the place, pulled into trees, dragged through windows. It's just mad how they made films back then to how they do it now. I don't think they get away with it nowadays. But yeah, The Curse of Poltergeist said a lot of things associated with it. I don't know too much detail, but said at least 5 cast members have died. I said the clown attack, there's been cast have been murdered, but yeah, a lot of history to do with the film. And one of the main reasons they believe it may have been like that is when the bodies appear later on in it, they didn't use plastic skeletons. It was cheaper to buy real skeletons, and they used real skeletons in them scenes. So in them scenes with the bodies and that flying around, it was basically real skeletons. It wasn't plastic skeletons. So they reckon this could be one of the causes why the film was cursed, and also the subject matter they were dealing with. But all in all, it is an excellent film. I love it still to this day. I mean, I've watched it the first time today in about 10-12 years. Absolutely brilliant still. Still shocks you, still gets you. Said it's a Steven Spielberg film, so it's not just a straightforward horror fest. So there's the whole issue of family issues and things in it. Well worth watching to this day. Said I don't know about the reboot, but go and watch the original if you can. Watch the original version from 1982, original Poltergeist. I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 nooses. It's going to lose a noose simply for the fact that it does look dated. I said I love the fact it looks dated, but other people might not. You can tell it was filmed in the 80s, and some of the effects do look a bit ropey, which is good in a way, but they're all mechanical effects. There's no CGI. But go and watch Poltergeist. Said brilliant film. It is scary, don't get me wrong. It's one of the films, when I watched as a kid, it genuinely scared me. Not many films do that. When I was a kid, it did genuinely scare me. But nowadays, it's still a great film to watch. So, Poltergeist is getting 4 nooses out of 5. Great film. I recommend you watch it. That's all for this review. I will speak to you all again soon. Goodbye.